what we're thinking of as aliens. They're extra-dimensional beings. They are not what they claim to be. The disasters that are coming.
On the 11th of September, 1997, a man called a late-night radio show. This wasn't just any show. It was Coast to Coast AM, hosted by the legendary Art Bell. Broadcast from a high-desert studio in Pahrump, Nevada, it was a lifeline for night owls, truck drivers on lonely desert highways, and anyone captivated by UFOs, conspiracies, and the strange corners of our world. Millions listened in the dark, tuning into the static of AM radio. But on this particular night, just after midnight, a caller came down the line who changed the show forever. He didn't sound like the usual late-night theorist. He sounded terrified, breathless, like a man speaking between frantic moments of running for his absolute life. And then, mid-sentence, the entire national broadcast went dark. Not just the phone line, not just the caller. The massive multi-station satellite uplink carrying the show across the United States simply died. It was an unprecedented blackout that left millions of listeners sitting in total, eerie silence. Tonight, we're looking at what really happened in those dark minutes, what might have happened behind the scenes, and why this specific call still haunts the internet nearly 30 years later. To understand why this moment sent shockwaves through the airwaves, you have to understand how Art Bell ran his show. He trusted his audience. He often opened up specialized, unscreened phone lines dedicated strictly to specific topics. On this night, he opened a line reserved exclusively for former employees of Area 51, the hyper-secretive military installation buried deep in the Nevada desert. It was a recipe for high drama, but what happened next caught everyone off guard. The line clicked open. A man's voice flooded the speakers. It was shaking, hyperventilating, and thick with an agonizing sense of dread. He sounded like a whistleblower who knew his time was rapidly running out.
Hello, Art?
Yes.
Hi. I don't have a whole lot of time. Former employee. I was let go on a medical discharge.
As Art Bell tried to keep him calm, urging him to breathe and tell his story, the caller's panic escalated. He started talking about things far more terrifying than simple grey aliens or retro-engineered military aircraft.
They're gonna, they'll triangulate on this position really soon.
He warned that the military establishment had been completely infiltrated and that a catastrophic event was coming, a disaster meant to drastically wipe out major population centers so the few who remained could be easily controlled. Whether you believe the substance of his claims or not, one thing was undeniable to anyone listening that night. The sheer, raw terror in his voice was real. This was the sound of a human being experiencing a total psychological breakdown or genuine existential dread. Even Art Bell, a man who spent decades talking to the strange and unusual, sounded unsettled. And then, the unthinkable happened. Right as the caller reached a fever pitch, describing how the military was targeting specific safe zones, his voice cracked with pure, desperate panic.
I started getting...
Dead air. Across the entire United States, from coast to coast, the feed vanished. In 1997, radio syndication relied heavily on a primary satellite uplink. If a local station lost power, only that city went silent. But this wasn't local. The main satellite system carrying the show to hundreds of stations across North America had completely shut down. At first, thousands of listeners sitting in dark bedrooms and driving on empty roads thought it was part of the theater, a clever bit of radio drama designed to scare them. But as the seconds ticked into minutes, the silence became deafening. The network later confirmed the outage. Art Bell confirmed it. It was a perfect, cinematic blackout. Too perfect, some began to whisper. It took several minutes of pure, uninterrupted silence before a backup system kicked in. When Coast to Coast finally forced its way back onto the airwaves, Art Bell returned. He was an experienced broadcaster, shaken but trying to maintain composure. He explained to his bewildered audience that the entire primary satellite uplink had suddenly lost power and gone offline. It was a technically rare, highly improbable event, but not entirely impossible. Yet the timing was what made it unforgettable. A terrified man claims to be an Area 51 whistleblower, begins naming specific, highly classified government agendas, and the exact second he panics, the plug is pulled on a national scale. Was it a freak coincidence, or a deliberate high-level intervention to silence a broadcast before he said too much? We'll come back to that. The story takes an even stranger turn months later. In April of 1998, a man called into Art Bell's show once again. But this time the energy on the line was completely different. The caller was calm, collected, almost cheerful. He claimed he was the original frantic whistleblower from that infamous September night, and he wanted to clear the air. On the air, Art Bell accepted the explanation, seemingly relieved to put the bizarre incident to rest. But the listeners didn't buy it. And looking back with modern audio analysis, many still don't. The profound psychological terror of the original call is incredibly difficult to fake. Furthermore, this convenient confession arrived only after the original tape had gone massively viral, cementing itself as an urban legend. Was this second call truly a prankster admitting his joke? Or was it a calculated damage control operation designed to put a tidy bow on a mystery that was never meant to be investigated? The official stance is simple. It was a technical failure. Broadcast infrastructure in the 90s was complex, and satellites do glitch. Systems overheat, power grids fluctuation, and equipment fails. If the outage was purely random, then the Area 51 caller was simply a frightened man or a brilliant actor who happened to get lucky. He was speaking into the void at the exact microsecond a piece of machinery miles above the Earth experienced a random power surge. A cosmic coincidence wrapped in a late-night radio anomaly. But what if the timing wasn't an accident? This is where the conspiracy takes root. Many believe the blackout was an intentional military or government intervention. The caller was escalating, speaking about population relocation and extra-dimensional threats. If a monitoring agency was listening to the unscreened line and decided he was breaching operational security, cutting the main satellite feed would be the fastest way to kill the story. If the original call was genuine, and the government did pull the plug, they quickly realized they had created a massive Streisand effect. They had turned a random caller into a legendary martyr for truth. To kill a viral conspiracy, you don't create a bigger mystery, you make it boring. By having someone call back months later claiming it was all a harmless prank, the mystery is solved. The box is closed. The public stops asking questions. It is the perfect quiet cover-up. So what really happened on that strange September night? Was it a genuinely terrified whistleblower running for his life? A random technical glitch hitting at the worst possible moment? A prankster who managed to pull off the most perfectly timed hoax in history? Or was it a broadcast deliberately silenced before a devastating truth could be spoken? We may never know for certain. But nearly 30 years later, the audio remains one of the most chilling artifacts of late-night broadcasting. A moment where fear, secrecy, and a sudden deafening silence collided. This is the Area 51 caller. And whatever happened that night, someone didn't want us to hear the rest. What do you think happened? Was it a calculated cover-up or just a brilliant prank? Listen to the entire call coming up now and let me know your thoughts in the comments below.
Hello, Art.
Yes.
Hi. I don't have a whole lot of time.
Well, look, let's begin by finding out whether you're using this line properly or not.
Area 51.
Yeah, that's right. Were you an employee or are you now?
A former employee.
Former employee.
I was let go on a medical discharge about a week ago, and I've kind of been running across the country. Oh man, I don't know where to start. They're gonna they'll triangulate on this position really soon.
So you can't spend a lot of time on the phone. So give us something quick.
Okay. Okay. What we're thinking of as aliens, Art, they're extra-dimensional beings that an earlier precursor of the space program made contact with. They are not what they claim to be. They have infiltrated a lot of aspects of the military establishment, particularly the Area 51. The disasters that are coming, the military, the government knows about them, and there's a lot of safe areas in this world that they could begin moving the population to now, Art.
But they're not doing anything.
They are not. They want the major population centers wiped out so that the few that are left will be more easily controllable.
Discharged.
I started getting